Good morning, Standard 9 students. Today I shall be teaching you Act 2, Scene 9. Okay. And now the next suitor is the Prince of Aragon. Now he has already fulfilled all the formalities demanded by Portia, all the proceedings, and now he is ready to try his luck. Okay. So the scene opens with Nerissa. Quick, quick, I pray thee, draw the curtain straight. The Prince of Aragon had taken his oath and comes to his election presently. Okay. So now she is instructing the servant, be fast and draw the curtain. The Prince of Aragon has already taken his oath and now he is coming to make his choice. The election year means to make his choice. Okay. Then flourish of cornets. Enter the Prince of Aragon, Portia, and they train. Portia. Behold, there stands the casket, noble prince. If you choose that wherein I am contained, straight shall our nuptial rites be solemnized. Nuptial rites means the marriage ceremony. Solemnized means performance. But if you fail without more speech, my lord, you must be gone from hence immediately. Okay, so she is again reminding him that if you choose the one in which my picture is in, then straight away we shall get married. But if you choose the wrong one, then you got to leave immediately. Aragon, I am enjoined by oath to observe three things. So I remember I am bound by oath to observe three things, means pay heed to the terms and conditions. Okay. Now this is the order of the oath that each suitor has to take. Okay. First, never to unfold to anyone which casket was I chose. So now when you choose any of the caskets, you're not supposed to go out and declare it as to which casket you had chosen. Next, the second one. If I fail of the right casket, never in my life to woo a maid in way of marriage. So the second term and condition was, in case if he chooses the wrong casket, then never again in his life he would propose a maiden for marriage. It means that he has to remain a bachelor throughout his life. Lastly, if I do fail in fortune of my choice, immediately to leave you and be gone. So the third one was, if you choose the wrong one, then he has to leave immediately without uttering a single word, and no debate or any kind of discussion should be made. Then Portia tells him, to these injunctions everyone do swear that comes to hazard for my worthless self. He says, now these are the terms and conditions. Whosoever wants to marry this helpless girl, they will have to undergo these terms and conditions. Okay, here she tries to be she just tries to undermine herself. Okay. Aragon. And so have I addressed, means I am now familiar with the terms and conditions. Fortune now to my heart's hope. Okay, now everything depends on my faith and everything depends on my luck. gold, silver, and base lead. Who chooseth me must give and hazard all he hath. Now, this is the inscription written in the leaden casket. You shall look fairer, here I give, O hazard. So then he passes a comment. Says, had you been brighter, had you looked fairer, then perhaps I would have taken the risk. Alright. So, in other words, straight away, he has rejected the leaden casket because it's got a dull look on it. So maybe if it was brighter or lighter or fairer, so I would have given it a second thought. So here also, the Prince of Aragon has made the same mistake which the Prince of Morocco had made. What says the golden chest? Ha! Let me see. Who chooseth me shall gain what many men desire. What many men desire, that many may be meant by the full multitude that choose by show, not learning more than the fond eye do teach, which prize know to the interior. So he says now, he is trying to again, this suitor also feels that the clue, the inscription has got the clue to the right casket. So when he looks into the golden casket, it says, who chooseth me shall get what many men desire. Now he is trying to emphasize on the word many. What does many actually mean? Then according to his assumption, he feels many means the common masses, the common people. Okay. And he considers them to be foolish because they get deceived by looking at some good or maybe judging things according to its outward appearance. Like gold, there is a comment saying all that glitters is not gold. So anything that attracts one's eye, so people look at that only and then they get attracted towards it. But they fail to see to the interior part of it, the inside part of it. Now, for example, when you go to a cloth shop or a jewelry shop, okay, you will find that they use a lot of bulbs in the shop. In a big room like ours, we have one or two bulbs, it brightens the house. We could see what we want to. But in a small shop, they use such a lot of lights that is to deceive you, to fool you. It looks very glittering or shining, okay, but when you take it outside, it has got a different look because it was a trick played by the lights. Okay, so now according to the Prince of Aragon, he considers the multitude, the crowd, the common people as foolish people. They get attracted towards outward appearance and they fail to use their eyes to check the interior part of it. So they are compared, the common people are compared to a martlet, a bird, who builds its nest with mud and right on top of a high wall. Okay. Now, it may be because those days buildings were made out of rocks. So the bird may feel that the rock or the concrete is a safe place for the nest, but it fails to understand that it is being exposed to the climate and weather conditions, and it is easily destroyed when the weather condition is very bad. So he has compared the stupid nature of this bird by building its nest on high walls, which is likely to be destroyed when the weather condition is very bad. So he does not have a very good word for gold and the inscription, because it says what many men desire. I will not choose what many men desire, because I will not jump with common spirit and rank me with the barbarous multitudes. So he says, I am not going to count myself as one of the common people. And he criticizes and he calls them a barbarous multitudes, means a savage like an animal. So here he has a lot of airs and graces about himself. Okay, now I will keep it till here, because the silver inscription has a lot of explanation. So I will take it in part 2. Okay, thank you. And please write and learn the notes that I keep giving you, so that will help you in your final examination. Thank you.